Hi, my name is Kaylee. Welcome to a 50-ish minute vinyasa practice. The plan for today is to focus on longevity and movement patterns that are going to really promote the best possible quality of life. So my goal is that we really focus on a hip hinge movement. In yoga, we do this in our halfway stretch. We'll focus on a little bit of pulling movement. This rowing movement is really vital for quality of life. You think about, one of the classic examples is picking up a grandchild and bringing it toward your body. There's all kinds of reasons why we want to be able to pull things toward the body, as well as some spinal extension, just to keep everything kind of moving through the front side. When you are ready, go ahead and meet me on your back, on your mat. Kind of chilly in my place, so I have my socks on for a moment. I don't usually recommend practicing with socks on, but if you're cold, we're not going to be on the feet just yet. Bend the knees, plant the feet underneath the knees, and then let your arms drop anywhere that feels comfortable. So they might fall open by your side. You might bring your hands somewhere on your torso. Wherever they land is perfect. And let the eyes soften or close. And just allow yourself to orient to the space that you're in. Tune into any sounds that you can pick up on. And shift the focus to the sensations in your body. Notice the sensation in the palms, the arms. Notice the places where your body's resting on the mat, on the floor underneath you. See if you can feel that connection, the body resting down into the ground, and the ground kind of connecting back up against the body. We'll be here for just another couple moments. I know it can feel a little bit difficult sometimes to just be without immediately launching into some sort of movement that feels productive. See if you can focus on your breath and start to observe the pause at the top of the inhale and at the bottom of the exhale. If that feels too complicated for you, just start to tune into the breath and see if you can notice when you're breathing in, that you're breathing in. And when you're breathing out, that you're breathing out. We'll just be here for about 20 seconds like that. Great. Keep the knees bent. Bring your arms out to your side, kind of like you were going to do a chest press. So elbows out to about a 45-degree angle, fingers pointing up. Push into the elbows and then arch your chest up a bit. So heel the back of the ribs and the mid-back away from the mat. The back of the head stays down. The back of the hips stay down. Take a big breath in. So think about your cow here, extending the back. As you exhale, pat the back, round the spine, reach your arms up over your head, turn your palms away from each other, and then press, so I guess not quite over your head, but over your face. Push the back of the hands together. Bring the arms back into that kind of goalpost shape as you inhale, arch the back away from the mat. Exhale, rotate the palms out and the arms up. Pull the edges of the shoulders away from each other. A couple more like that. Inhale, find the extension in the spine. Exhale, round the back. Maybe the tailbone meets the mat. A couple more. Breathe in. Breathe out. One more. And then hold it in your cat back. You can reach the arms back up over your head, start to peel your hips away from the mat. Push into the feet, roll back onto the shoulders. Take a couple breaths here, really pressing straight down through all four corners of your feet. You can spread the toes and lift the toes, but push the soles of the feet down. Take a big breath in. As you exhale, lower the hips down, bring your arms back to your side, and bring your knees into your chest. So I guess hands to the knees, not arms to the side here. Circle the knees in any direction that feels good. You could circle the knees opposite direction. You could circle the knees together. And switch the direction that you're moving through your knees. And although the knees are moving, we're really focusing actually on the movement in the hips here, where the thigh bone clicks into the hip socket. Bring the feet down. We're going to inhale back into that bridge, this time arms to your side. Stay here, or option to march one knee into the chest, and then the other knee into the chest. So the leg that's on the ground is the one that we're focusing on. It doesn't matter how high that marching knee comes. We're just really focusing on pushing that grounded foot down to engage through that leg. March it out for 3, or you could just be holding your bridge for 2 and 1. Feet down, lower the hips slowly. All right, cross your ankles, rock yourself forward to a seated position. I'll turn to the side and stay facing forward if that's comfy. Reach the arms up over your head, take a big breath in. Now let's take a side bend over to your right. Push into your right palm, press your left sit bone down. Maybe you take a peek over toward your left fingertips and then row that left arm by your side. So left fingers move toward the left shoulder. Inhale as you row that arm long. Exhale, bring the fingers toward the shoulder. They do not need to touch. Couple more. Breathing in to stretch. Exhale to pull in. So move like you're moving through wet cement, or maybe that you've got, I don't know, a rope or a band in that top hand. So imagine that you're moving through some resistance here. Next time your arm's long, hold it there. See if you can breathe into your left lung, find some space inside your torso. And then exhale it back through the center. Left hand down, inhale the right arm up and over. So same thing, just getting into position on this side. Use the left hand to keep pressing the right sit bone down. Breathe in for your stretch, and then as if you're moving through some resistance, row that arm back. So the fingers could come toward the right shoulder. You can see I'm kind of making a fist on the way back, right? Pulling in as if you've got a little added resistance. You can generate that resistance internally. Really great skill to have. So find that muscle contraction without necessarily needing some equipment to do it. That mind-muscle connection is really powerful. They've got some evidence to support that coming in the research, the recent research around muscle hypertrophy. Take that arm long last time as you take a breath into your right lung. And then circle your hands around in front of your shins. Work your way to a tabletop position. Spread your fingers out pretty wide, but not so wide that you're really stretching the webbing of the hands, just enough that you've got a good surface area. But then tuck the pinky fingers in a little bit. So focus on the first 3 fingers, your thumb, index, and middle. Round your back, come into your cat stretch here. Take a breath in. And then cow as you exhale, scoop the chest through. So a little bit opposite of the regular breath pattern that we do here. Cat, breathe in, let the shoulders melt toward the ears. Cow, as you breathe out, scoop the chest forward. One more like that. Inhale, round the spine. And exhale, find that kind of cow back extending. Come through a neutral spine here. So pelvis and ribs are aligned. And then root down through your left hand. Root down through both, rather reach the right leg back. You can stay here with both palms planted or reach the left arm forward. So we've got a spinal balance. Bring some awareness back into your pelvis. Maybe you take a tiny tilt so the low back stays nice and long here. Knit the floating ribs. So these ribs on the front side, knit those together. Imagine that you're trying to bring the hip bones toward the bottom of your rib cage. Find some abdominal strength there. Take a breath in. Bring your right knee to your right elbow, and then we're not going to bring the left elbow under the body, but row it by the side of the body. Make a fist again. Inhale, lengthen everything out. Exhale, pull knee to right elbow, left hand to left hip. Couple more. Breathe in to lengthen. Exhale, pull toward midline. Last one. Breath in. Breath out. Take everything long here. Drop the left hand down. Keep the right leg long. Pivot onto the inner edge of the right foot back behind you. Bring your left toes off the mat. So kick standing that left leg. And reach the right arm up. Couple deep breaths into your side plank variation. Option to float the right leg up. If you choose to lift your right leg, flex through the right toes, look down the midline of your body, make sure you can see your right toes in your field of vision, and then lengthen the crown of the head back long, coming into a neutral spine, looking toward the right side of the room. Breath in, bring the right hand and the right knee down underneath your body. This time, circle the shoulders over the wrists, a couple times in each direction. Nice, deep, relaxed breaths. We're going to move through that little spinal balance sequence on the other side. When you're ready, come through center, find a nice neutral alignment. So pelvis and ribs are aligned. Left leg goes back this time. Option to just work with the left leg, or you reach the right arm forward. Press the floor away with the base of the left thumb. Take a breath in. Left knee, left elbow. Right hand makes a fist, pull that right wrist toward the right hip. Inhale, stretch, keep the core active. Exhale, squeeze it in. So we're going for length. Think about lengthening the right wrist away from the left ankle, as opposed to lifting those limbs away from the floor. When you stretch it long, stretch like someone's pulling your wrist and ankle in opposite directions. One more time, breathe in. Breathe out. Everything goes long on an inhale. Bring the right hand down, keep the left leg long. Pivot your right toes off to the right. Inner edge of the left foot comes down and the left arm comes up. Stay here or grow long through the low back and float the left leg up. Look down the midline of your body, find your left toes. Take a breath in. Back to your hands and your knees. Tuck the toes under. Walk the hips back toward the heels. A little wrist release here. Interlace your fingers. Roll out through the wrists. Switch the direction of those wrist circles. If this feels really funky and just isn't making sense to your brain, that's actually maybe a great thing, or you can just release the hands. So sometimes those, I know for me, those neuromuscular connections really don't want to light up in certain pathways. So it just takes time. Bring your hands to your hips. You're still seated on your heels back behind you. Keep your shoulders over your hips here as you lift up, standing up onto your knees. Untuck the toes. We're going to do a little quad warm up here. You may want to pad your knees if you're on a real firm surface. Keep the shoulders over the hips if you can as you lean it back. Bring your hips toward your heels. Come all the way back up. Then come all the way back down. Don't drop your weight down, but just see if you can find your heels with your bum before you lift it back up. Push into the shins and the tops of the feet. If this isn't feeling like it's waking up the quads, your option here is to go halfway up and back down. That does it almost every single time. We're just here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Plant the hands, tuck the toes. If you're wearing socks, now's the moment to ditch them. Find downward facing dog. When you land in your down dog, move around in any way that feels good for your body. And that could include staying still and just finding some steadiness and stability in the pose. See if you can tuck the pinky fingers in just a little bit. Focus more on the thumb and the index. When you're ready, walk your feet to the top of the mat. Come straight into your halfway stretch. Palms can come up onto the shins. The knees are bent here. Think about the movement in your hips. So the hips are hinging back. Your chest is kind of melting forward, but there's a length through it. Take a breath in. Ragdoll as you exhale. Separate your feet a little bit wider than hips distance or a lot wider. A nice generous bend in the knees. Maybe you find a sway. Breathe in, breathe out. Give your head a gentle shake or a little nod. Release the hands down. Heel to the feet as close as feels comfy in your body. Maybe hips distance, maybe the big toes touch. And then slide back to your halfway stretch. Take a breath in. Forward fold as you breathe out. We're going to add on a little bit. Halfway stretch, inhale. Keep the halfway stretch. Reach the arms straight forward. Knit the floating ribs in here. Keep pulling back through your hips as you reach forward with the head and the arms. Bring your arms to a narrow row. So roll the arms up by the sides of your body like we did in that plank kind of variation. Reach the arms straight down, palms together. And then take the arms out to a T. I'm facing kind of sideways. I'll turn to the side here. Bring the arms back down and then take it into your narrow row. Arms down, fingers down, palms face each other. T the arms out, shoulders squeeze together. Arms down, palms together, row it in. So a little kind of combo movement here. Keep pressing down through the balls of the feet and the heels. Maybe the toes start to peel away from the mat. Push into the feet, find your glutes and your hamstrings. So back of the thighs and the butt are active here. We're here for 4, 3, knit the floating ribs in, 2, and 1. Bring your hands to your thighs, roll it up nice and slowly. Feels good to straighten the knees out. Once your shoulders are over your hips, reach the arms up overhead, take a breath in. And then bend your elbows, find a goalpost shape here, or maybe even a trident or a W shape. Reach the arms up, breathe in. And then fold forward, long breath out. Totally fine to bend the knees. Find a halfway stretch, take a breath in. Plant the hands, step back to high push-up. Hold your plank just for a beat. Rock forward and then lower all the way down. Elbows go back toward the sides of your body. Come onto the tops of the feet. Reach your arms down by the sides of your body, palms face down. Keep the feet down, keep the palms down. Heel your chest up. Lengthen through the sides of the neck. You're not kinking the neck there. Pull with the fingertips. Maybe the palms leave the mat, but you keep crawling your fingers back toward your feet. Deep breath in. Lower down. Long breath out. Bring your left cheek to the mat. Turn the palms to face up this time. Come back into that locust variation. Keep the feet down. Just notice the difference there. See if you can open through the collarbones. Maybe the hands float off the mat with the palms facing up and the thumbs pointing in. Breathe in. Exhale, right cheek to the mat. Lower it down. Going to come back into locust. You choose if you want the palms up or down. Inhaling it up. Stay there. Reach the legs up as well. Point the toes so you're reaching back long through the ankles. You can experiment bringing the legs all the way together, squeezing them together, or separating the legs a little further. Here for 5. Lengthen the sides of the neck. 4, 3. Pull the arms up and back a bit more. 2, and 1. Make a pillow for your forehead by stacking the hands. Let everything go. Relax the muscles alongside your spine. Maybe wiggle out the hips and the feet. Feet hips distance. We're going to take cobra pose. Crawl the fingers toward the sides of the ribs. Come up onto the fingertips. Inhale. And then down dog. On your exhale, tuck the toes, then the hips up and back. Pause here for a breath or two. You can pedal out your feet, or maybe you're playing around with finding stillness. You can set the eyes to one spot and really root down through your hands and your feet. When you're ready, look toward the top of the mat, take a breath in. Exhale as you walk the feet between the hands. Back to that halfway stretch, inhale. Forward fold on the exhale. All the way up, big full body stretch here, breathe in. Find a lightning chair. Sweep your arms by your side, tip the chest forward. We're gonna stay with the legs here, reach the arms forward, bring your torso parallel to the floor. So we're back in that hip hinge movement, yeah? Knit the floating ribs in, narrow row the arms to your side. Reach the arms down, so let the arms dangle, palms face each other, and then open the arms to a T. Arms down, take your narrow row. Arms down, open to your T. Couple more like that. So find a pace here that feels like you can connect with this movement. Sometimes if we go for speed, we actually lose a little bit of the connection. Deep, powerful breaths, constricting the throat gently so that you can control that flow of prana, Ujjayi Pranayama. All right, we're gonna bring the narrow row back and then sweep it to your lightning chair. Take a breath in. Maybe you sit a little lower as you exhale, then the inhale takes it all the way up, big full body stretch. Goalpost or trident as you exhale, scoop the chest up. Reach the arms up, breathe in, little standing back bend. Fold forward as you exhale. Halfway stretch, take a breath in. High plank, rock forward and lower down to your degree. Come into cobra or upward facing dog. Either way, hold your stretch. If you're in up dog, put a micro bend in your elbows, scoop the chest through, broaden the collarbones, and then re-straighten the arms. Big inhale. Downward facing dog as you exhale. Let's clear that out. Breathe in through your nose. Open mouth, exhale. Give your head a little shake when you're ready. Walk your feet back to the top of the mat and do one more like that before we build a little flow. Halfway stretch, breathe in. Forward fold as you breathe out. Stand all the way up, push into your feet as you reach through your fingers. Lightning chair on the exhale. Reach the arms straight out in front of you. Torso is parallel to the floor. Stay spacious in your lower back. So if you're arching through the low back, see if you can find more space there. Lengthen the tailbone. And then narrow row the arms. You know what's coming. Reach the arms down. Open the arms to your T. Down. Narrow row. Down to the T. Keep going just like that. So it's a big full body compound movement. We're moving through the upper body and stabilizing through the trunk and the lower body. The next time you find your narrow row, take it back to your lightning chair. Sweep the fingers back by your side. Breathe in. Stay here as you breathe out. The inhale takes you up, stretch. Trident or cactus as you exhale. Reach up and fill. Bow forward and empty. Halfway stretch, take a breath in. Plant your hands, step back to high push-up and pause. If you're in a high plank here, spin your heels to the right and then lift the left arm up for your side plank variation. You can stagger the feet so that you're on the inner edge of your left foot and the outer edge of your right, or you might choose to stack the feet, or you might even bring that left foot in front of you. Kind of love this variation. Take the top arm long, breathe in, and then back to high push-up as you breathe out. Pivot the heels to the left, right arm comes up this time. Side plank, find a variation that makes sense for you. Either stagger feet, Stack feet or plant that right foot in front of you. Push into the right foot to lift the hips. Bring the right arm forward, breathe in. Hand down, high push up to low push up as you breathe out. Cobra or up dog on the inhale. Downward facing dog as you exhale. This time, kick your right leg back behind you. And then stack, bend, and open through your hips. So right hip externally opening. Keep pressing through your right hand. Maybe you even tent the left fingertips, just to check that you're squaring your chest. Re-extend your right leg as you breathe in. And then step your right foot through between the thumbs. Drop the left knee down. Come into a supported crescent. As you inhale your arms up. Untuck the left toes. Send your hips back over your left knee. You're at like a 90-90 in the knees here. Once I started practicing with like a screen, I can see my alignment's a little less than 90-90 sometimes. Make an adjustment so that you feel that the hips are really steady right above the left knee. Take a breath in. Interlace your hands at your lower back, little balance challenge here. Inhale, pull the chest up, drag the knuckles down. And then exhale as you hinge at the hips, starting to straighten out that front leg for a hamstring stretch. The right leg might not actually straighten out, and you might choose to release that bind and use your fingers by the sides of the right leg for some support. Push the right heel down and into the mat as you curl the right toes back toward your right knee. We're here for 3. Soften through the neck and the jaw. 2. Finish and exhale here. Rebend the front knee, release the bind. Dragonfly twist, left hand under your left shoulder, lift the left knee. Heel the right arm up and open. Take a big breath in. Bring your right hand down. Push into your right foot. We're going to bring the left knee into your chest. Keep the right knee bent. Step the left foot back and then squeeze it in. So try and keep the right leg as still as you can here. If you happen to be near something that you can hold on to, highly recommend that. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do just that. Maybe you catch the wall with your right hand, bring your left hand to your left hip, or vice versa. Pushing into that right foot. We're in our hip hinge movement. We're going to stand all the way up with the left knee in the chest. 3, 2, and 1. Left knee to your chest. Rise it up. Reach the arms up. Find your balance. As you root down for your right foot, let the tailbone drop toward the right heel. Dancing Shiva. Take a little quarter of a turn to the left. Maybe you catch the crook of your left knee with your right hand. Reach back to your left arm. Maybe you take your eyes back toward your left thumb. For me, I'm starting to lose my balance there. Totally fine to find a little wobble. Sometimes the wobbly movements are the ones where we're actually building the most like new connections. Maybe you catch the knife edge of the left foot and extend that leg forward. From here, we're going to take bear pose. So that left foot's going to come down at least hips distance. Reach the arms by your side. So you're in a little bear here. Bring the left knee up into your chest. Reach the arms up. And then step the left foot to the back of the mat, finding a lightning crescent lunge. My legs are tired today. It's going to be a wobbly one. That is all right. If you're wobbly with me, cool, we're in it together. Reach the arms up, crescent lunge, big breath in. Plant your hands, step back and take it through your flow. So low push up to cobra or up dog, meeting in downward facing dog. And from downward facing dog, left side, inhale your left leg up, bend your left knee, external rotation on this side. Keep pushing into your left hand. Maybe you tent the right fingers. Deep, relaxed Ujjayi breath. Extend your left leg long on an inhale. Step the left foot between your thumbs, drop your right knee down. Sweep your arms up, coming into your supported crescent as you untuck the right toes to challenge the balance a bit. Tuck the tailbone a tiny bit and then energetically push the left foot down and imagine that you're trying to drag it back underneath your body. Push the right shin down and imagine that you're trying to slide it forward toward the top of the mat. You feel a lot of sensation in the front of the right hip. Interlace your hands at your lower back. Take a breath in. And then hinge the left hip back as you start to soften into a straight left leg. Sending the hips back toward the right heel. Keeping in mind that you might have a soft bend in the left knee, or you might even bring your hands down to frame the left leg. And see if you can find the variation of the stretch that's meaningful for you. Focus on how your body feels instead of how it looks. How does it feel to move into the stretch? How does it feel to breathe into the posture? If you notice that you've got your teeth clenched, it's a nice sign that maybe we want to back off a little bit. One more long breath here. And then dragonfly twist, rebend the front knee, right hand under right shoulder, tuck the right toes, lift the right knee, lift the left arm. Use your breath to find a bit more space in the body. Maybe you find more length in the spine or pull that left hip crease back. We're going to take those knee drivers, bring the left hand down, or maybe you've got the good fortune of being near a wall or a couch, and then pull right knee in and out. So just kind of tapping the right toes back behind you. Keeping that left knee bent is going to mean we're really contracting through the left hamstring, right? This back of the left thigh. You may feel it in your left glutes. Perfectly cool too. For 4, we're rising up with the right knee in 3, 2, and 1. Right knee up, arms up. Find your balance, set your eyes to one spot for a moment. And then dancing Shiva. Hook the outside of the right knee with the left hand. Lean into a wall, do what you gotta do. Reach the right arm back behind you. And then lengthen the crown of the head away from the tailbone. Root down through your left heel. Maybe you start to move your eyeballs toward your back thumb. Maybe you catch the knife edge of the right foot and extend the right leg forward, the right arm back. We're going to take it back into bear and bring that right foot down, feet hips distance or wider, sweep your arms by your side. We're going to pick up the right knee, inhale. Step the right foot back, lightning, crescent. Lengthen through your lower back, root down through the left big toe mound. Inhale, the arms go up, maybe the eyes go up. Plant your hands, step it back, and flow to down dog. Or skip the vinyasa and come straight into down dog. From downward facing dog, we're gonna put that together. Pedal out your knees a bit, loosen up the muscles in your legs a bit, let them relax. And then we'll start on the right. Inhale the right leg up. As you exhale, step the right foot forward. I'm into warrior 1 this time, pivot the back heel down, reach the arms up. Lightning warrior, pull the chest forward like you're leaning forward, pull the fingertips back. And from here, we're going to come back to warrior 1 on the inhale. And then bear, bring your hands to your heart as you exhale. The left knee is going to come up to dancing Shiva. Catch the crook of the knee. Take it back to bear. The left leg's going to move back to warrior 1. Bring the left foot back, reach the arms up. So the left leg's going to move through this whole little sequence here. Back Back to bear, hands to your heart. Dancing Shiva, knee to your chest. Bear, hands to your heart. Warrior one, left foot to the back. Bear, heart center. Dancing Shiva, open left. Bear, heart center. Warrior one. Go ahead and keep going. I know it's a little bit of a complicated flow. Remember the left leg's moving, and it's totally okay to get a little lost here. Focus on moving in a way that feels stable. Give you one more option. We're just here for a few more moments. Maybe you add a jump every time you find your bear. Oh, I don't need a jump today. You do you. All right, we're gonna meet. There we go, getting lost. We're gonna meet in warrior one. Take a breath in. Open up into a straight leg warrior two. So that front knee bends. We're setting up for or open or bends. It straightens. Front knee straightens. Oh my goodness. Lift out of the bottom side of your pelvis. Reach the right side of the ribs forward. Reach the right arm forward. And let's just go right into our triangle pose. You take your eyes up toward your top thumb, forward or down toward the mat inside of your right foot, or really anywhere along the line of that kind of circular, like a half circle from your top hand to your bottom hand. Top arm goes forward, breathe in. High push-up, step your right foot to the back. All right, we're gonna add a little renegade row here. Keep the feet split, stagger stance, pivot the heels to the left, and then roll your right elbow up. Come back to plank pose. Square your chest to the mat, press the right palm down. And then swivel the heels again, same side, left, row the right arm up. Pull, square the chest, pivot the heels to the ceiling. Little row, swivel the heels to the left. Keep going, just a couple more on this side. Core is strong, so those abdominals are pulling up and in. This movement is a lot about the shoulders, but especially that row with the right arm. Row with the right arm, stay there, and then reach the right arm up so you're in your full side plank. Take that right arm forward, breath in. Vinyasa, or just go straight to down dog. My option for you is to drop the knees. Inhale into cow. Exhale into downward facing dog. That's probably the vinyasa variation that I'll be working with for the rest of class. I'll cue it for you, or you stay with what works for you. We're on the left side. Inhale, kick your leg up. Exhale, step it through. Remember, warrior one this time. Breathe in. Lightning warrior, breathe out. Come to bear pose at the top. Bring that right foot down. So now it's the right leg that's going to be moving. Plug into your left foot, dancing Shiva. Catch the right knee with your left hand. Bear, hands to your heart. Right foot to the back, warrior one, arms to the ceiling. Bear, hands to your heart. Dancing Shiva, right knee up, right arm back. Bear, maybe you add your hop. Warrior one, right foot to the back. Bear, option to hop, dancing Shiva. Keep going without worrying a ton about if you're getting this perfect, right? Some of this is a really great mental exercise, so coordination, not necessarily being like an amazing dancer, but having a bit of coordination, really great. As we age, want to be able to move the body consciously. There's an intelligence around that. Also requires practice, just like any skill. Last four, I'm just counting us down. Move at the pace that feels right for you. 3, 2, 1. Meet in warrior one. Take a big breath in. Straighten the front leg as you pivot open to warrior two with a straight left leg. Reach forward through the left hand. Let the hips sass back a bit. Left hand, left shin. Right arm up for Trikonasana. Remember, you could be looking anywhere as if you were to draw like a half circle from your left inner ankle all the way up to your right thumb. Anywhere along that half circle line. And you choose the spot that feels best for your neck. Reach the top arm forward as you breathe in. High push-up. This time we're swiveling heels to the right with a staggered stance and then rowing the left elbow, not just up, but rotate it back a bit. Plant the left hand, pivot the heels toward the ceiling, square your chest. Swivel the heels, row the left elbow up. Keep going. When you row, imagine that you've got like a big, heavy can of paint. So working with that internally generated resistance. One more, square the chest. Row it open, hold here, reach the left arm up. Take the left arm forward. Take a breath in. Exhale the left hand down. If you're working with me, swivel the heels, drop the knees. Cow pose. As you inhale, scoop the heart through. Down dog. As you exhale, send the hips back. Take a breath in and a long breath out. We're going to move through that once more, little shorter sequence. Inhale, right leg. Exhale, step it through. Warrior one. Breathe in. Lightning, breathe out. Bear at the top, hands to your heart, left leg's moving. Dancing Shiva, knee lifts. Bear, warrior one. You know the pattern here. Breathe yourself through it, talk yourself through it. You are trying to support a friend here. What would you say to them? You might even say, hey, you can take a break. Hey, you do not have to do every single thing for this to be productive time. You might also say, you're doing great. You're so strong. The next time you have your warrior one, hold it there. Open up into a straight leg, warrior two. Take a breath in, triangle, reach the top arm up. Inhale the top arm forward. Exhale, plank pose. Pivot the heels to the left, row the right arm up, and then square your chest. Just 3 more. Last time, row and then reach the arm all the way up, sweep the arm forward, rainbow through your spine here so the hips press up, and then flow through your vinyasa. Maybe you take your cow on the inhale or you're in up dog. Down dog on the exhale, home stretch, left leg lifts, breathe in. Step it through, warrior one on the inhale. Lightning as you empty. Bear, here we go, right leg's moving this time, dancing Shiva. Bear, warrior one, bear. So you know what to do or what not to do. I feel me getting a little sloppy, so I'm going to slow down. Maybe be real deliberate about my drishti, my focus, or my intention, right? Building strength and healthy movement patterns for the long run. For 3, for 2, medium warrior one. Once you're there, warrior one on the inhale. Straight leg warrior two. Reach left arm forward, breathe in. Triangle, breathe out. Take the right arm over your right ear, breathe in. High push up, swivel the heels to the right, row the left elbow. High push up, fully back into that plank, and then row. Good, 2 more. 1 more row. We're gonna reach that left arm overhead, breathe in, press into the floor to find a little bit of open space between the bottom of your left ribs and the top of your left hip. Plant the hands, drop the knees, Sit back onto your heels. Option to let the eyes close or let your gaze soften down toward your knees or your lap. Wherever you landed, and you just notice what it feels like in your body right now. So scale back from any kind of judgment, like just be an observer, be as objective as you possibly can, right? You feel the sensation of the inhale moving into your lungs, expanding your ribs in all directions. You feel the sensation of your exhale, maybe allowing yourself to feel a little bit more steady or grounded. See if you can start to lengthen the breath. Blink the eyes open here. Part the knees just a bit wider, so maybe more like a child's pose knee. And then bring your right fingertips back behind you. We're gonna take another hip hinge variation. So tuck the tailbone toward the knees gently. Lift the hips, maybe that left arm reaches. It's kind of like a half camel variation here, but I find this is just a little bit easier to find that kind of tilt of the pelvis. Come back through the center, hips to your heels. And then sweep the left hand back behind you. Lengthen through the lower back, tilt toward knees as you lift it up. We're gonna go back and forth a couple times. I'm gonna hang out in each side for maybe 2 or 3 cycles of breath. You might wanna move one breath, one motion. You might wanna stay longer than I do. See if you can experiment with what feels best in your body, what feels most productive. So we've already done quite a lot of work here, just stretching open through the front of the hips. When you feel even, go ahead and bring the knees back together. Bring your hands down around the knees and then round your back. Tuck the tail toward the knees again, but now we're in a cat back. Shrug the shoulders into the ears. Draw your navel into your spine as you start to walk the fingers back a bit. You're still on the tops of the feet. The toenails are down. They're not the like big toe mounds, but the toenails are pointing back. Lift the knees up toward your chest. Stretch through the front of the ankles and the shins. And the knees might just be hovering above the mat. You relax the head, the neck, the jaw. You close the eyes, big breath in. Whew, that's enough. Drop the knees down gently. Shift your hips to one side so that you can bring the legs out. Bring the soles of the feet together, setting up for Baddha Konasana. You can interlace your fingers like a sling right underneath the pinky toe side of your feet. Keep the arms straight for a moment. Pull the heart forward. Maybe you even lift the chin just slightly away from the chest. Bend your elbows as you start to hinge forward. And then go ahead and allow your spine to round and flex. Bringing your chin toward your chest and the crown of your head toward your toes. So these forward fold motions are really nice and soothing for the nervous system. All of the effort that you put in your practice, you start to kind of return back into the body, recycle that energy and effort. We truly fill our cups in this way through movement, through any other practices that you have that kind of replenish your energy so that we have something to share. And it's maybe a little bit counterintuitive to think that you come to your mat and you really work pretty darn hard. In a way, you would think that that might actually sort of deplete you. And in a sense, it does. Definitely need to hydrate, maybe give your body some rest, some nutrition. But there's also this kind of energetic balance that we come back into when we take time to just be in our bodies and move in ways that are really life-affirming. At least for me, I do all of that so that I have a little bit more of a generous heart when I'm moving through the rest of my day, interacting with other people, other beings, communities. Whatever it is for you, really allow yourself to take 2 more cycles of breath here. Breathing in whatever you need to make your cup feel just a little bit fuller. And breathing out anything that's in the way of that process, anything that feels like it just is burning you out. See if you can leave a little bit of that behind. When you're ready, lift the head. We'll take your time, we'll slow, bring the knees back together. Catch the crooks of your knees with your hands. Once more, round the spine, draw the abdominals up and in as you roll it down vertebra by vertebra. So really cat back. Lengthen each vertebra away from the one beneath it. And then once the shoulders are down, inhale your arms back up over your head. Open mouth, exhale. If there's any other stretches that you need before you can come into Shavasana, you need happy baby or a spinal twist, feel free to add those in along the way. There's no rush to bring the body into stillness. Ideally, we kind of let stillness find the body instead of force stillness on ourselves. You may find it helpful to bring your awareness to the ground underneath you and to sense into that solidness and stability and stillness of the earth underneath you, and let that kind of trickle up through your skin into your muscles and your bones. We'll be here for just about 30 seconds longer. If you have more time to stay, or if you want to stretch more before Shavasana, go ahead and shut off the video, do your thing. Otherwise, listen for my voice shortly to close together. When you're ready to move on, just nod your head an inch or 2 in each direction. So small, slow movement. Take your time to roll over to one side, curling into the fetal position, whichever side feels right today. For me, it's left. You can cradle the bottom side of your head with your bottom arm. Let your body adjust to this position for a breath or 2. And then work your way gradually up to a seat. Setting an intention for the rest of your day, whatever's next for you. Committing to bringing a little bit more of maybe a regulated nervous system, a little bit more of a life-affirming focus on just what it means to be a human in a body. We'll close practice together. One big deep inhale, let your rib cage lift toward your shoulders. Let your shoulders lift toward your ears. And open your mouth when you're ready, let it go. Thank you for sharing some time with me. I hope that felt, I don't know if this is the right word. I hope it felt purposeful in your body. And I hope to see you again soon.